Today we're going to be going over a full bar replay on AUD CHF. Our boy Andres has volunteered to be doing the bar replay. So basically, he's going to be marking up the liquidity like if we were 5 years old. His goal is to explain step by steps what he's doing, understand what he thinks where the liquidity is, only and strictly with the concept he has learned so far. So we will be able to have exactly the real thought process in live and see exactly what happens when he's doing the bar replay in front of us. So I'm going to be able to potentially help him in the middle of his backtest, but I'll try to not intervene too much so we can have the full-fledged experience. If there's anything, Andres, you let me know. And you have the mic. I'm going to mute myself. It's important to explain exactly what you see, and please include the invalidation shield, please, for the the 2 first hours. And yeah, that should be good.
All right, so quick question before start with should I just go candle by candle, or do I just move forward up to Frankfurt session
You could
after
do like
everything?
maybe half of Asia session, and that's it. If you can start at half of Asia session and start
All
from
right,
there. But it's
let's.
very important that we see exactly what you're doing.
I think there we are. Or
Okay, you can start from there. It's very important now that you give us all the details. You are now the teacher. You have the mic. Imagine that if you were me and you need to teach to people exactly what to do. So I'm going to mute
okay,
myself.
perfect.
Microphone goes to you.
All right, guys. So we're starting from this day, AUDCHF, considering that we have the invalidation shield. So we may consider this as the Asia low. So I'm gonna put it here just for. There. So we're going to take a look at how is the extractor, considering that probably there is not too much in this leg, there is not too much speed. I'm not going to consider this as an important extractor. Probably we may consider this as a higher time for BOS or medium medium structure from the left point. I'm gonna put it here just for the record, but let's see how it goes the structure, because I don't see anything too much important at the moment. All right, probably here we may consider some kind of the speed. Probably is not the best, but I'm gonna record here. I'm gonna put here the BOS. I'm considering the speed that we are having here. So I'm gonna mark this as the stop loss, and this could be for the record. I'm gonna put it here with questions. This will be it could be a freight BOS. Let's see how it goes. All right, so we got something interesting here because we got the reaction to this potential smart money trap. So this is we usually know that this could be potential. Some guys are telling me that the mic is not okay. I don't know, Rock, can you hear me well?
I can hear you well, but just try to talk a little bit louder if possible.
Okay, perfect. So considering that we have a reaction here, all right, we may presume that this could be an smart money trap, and this could be a potential a nice area for reaction. But obviously we're on Asia, and just put it there for the record, but not for taking any kind of trade or something like that. All right. So the smart money trading was confirmed. So we may presume that there are new B breakout structure traders, and the stop losses or the stop loss could be placed here. So I'm gonna move forward with. All right. So there is nothing at the moment on the left that it could be important, but let's see how it goes. I was thinking that it could be a great sum for potential break and retest, but let's see how it goes because price, I mean, we know that obviously the support and resistance for retails are just seen as a sun, but here probably it didn't even reach the sun, but let's see how it goes. All right, so we clearly have here new we clearly have here new breakout structure traders, and the stop losses will be placed here. I'm gonna delete just this. Their stop losses are placed here. And if we got any reaction to this trend line at their top, it could be considered important. If not, I'm just gonna delete it. All right, so I'm gonna delete this, and I'm gonna continue with the analysis. All right, there are some movement here, some speed. Let's see how price reaction here. And I think we have a new breakout structure here. Their stop losses are going to be here, and we see some speed once price move here, but I could say that there was a slowly move here. So I'm not gonna say that this is an RBOS because we haven't getting into this too much deeper, but let's see if price have any type of reaction here. We are about to enter, or now we enter into the Frankfurt session, so let's see how it goes. At this time, these stop losses were triggered. This break even, sorry, the break even of the breakout traders were triggered. But there was not any important reaction, so I'm not gonna mark it because it could be not considered too much important at the moment. All right, so we see clearly in the liquidity, or at least by what we have been taught, that this liquidity has been taken with certain speed, momentum. So we may presume that probably, I would say probably because I don't have the answers, but probably this is the area in which price induce or is trading away of it. So most likely for this intraday moment, this Asia low or the official Asia low is going to be taken. Let's see how price react here, considering that this was a low that create new highs, and at the same time took this low. We may presume, oh no, it didn't take it, but we may presume that it will be an important area of liquidity. So let's see if price even reach this point. I'm gonna move forward with it. All right, so considering the speed, we may presume that this was officially the Asia low taken. And let's see if there is any type of reaction or what price actually performed there. Okay, price is reaction if Rod, I'm gonna make a question. Does it, I mean, does it matter if here should I consider go to 1 minute to see if there is any, I don't know, probably our boss, or should I just continue here in 5 minutes?
Was the RBOS taught in any of the videos yet or no?
Okay, so answer
You
the
have your
question.
answer.
All right. So, okay, guys, so we are having a potential reaction to this Asia low. At the moment, there is a not clear structure in 5 minutes because if we just follow the legs of price, we may consider something like that. On this internal, I don't see any clear, so I'm gonna continue here in 5 minutes. All right. Probably considering, I forgot to mention this, but considering that there would be um considering that this is a breakout area, all the at these points, all the break-even traders, they probably move here their stop loss. So let's see how actually price if price have any type of reaction there. So that would be helpful to understand the liquidity at this point. This could be a potential reaction or break and retest. Break and retest traders. And remember that there are some of them that in the variation one that they are kind of aggressive. So after price, if price break this low, we may presume that the variation two could be triggered, which is the one that wait for break of a structure. But in this case, this is the variation one of those break and retrace traders that are more aggressive. So let's see how it goes. Okay, for this one, we just trigger these stop losses. But remember that we
Can
said
you
that with
give
the
me the
variation,
reason why you would so basically this stop loss here has been put based on that break and retest area, right?
yes, sir.
Okay. And would you argue that potentially this stop loss location isn't very relevant because price hasn't made a new low? So would you expect at
Yeah,
this point a reversal or no?
no, that's no, not at all.
Okay, perfect.
So it could be deleted because it is not important.
Okay, perfect.
All right. So now we're having like an internal structure break, considering that we induce Asia low or Asia lows liquidity has been taken, probably, or this is a potential spawn to trade away. So let's see how it goes once price reach trigger all these breakup instructor traders. If trigger their their break
Break even.
evens. Yeah, and on the other side that we were having this leg, and this was a break and BOS, a clear BOS. So we are going to expect potential sells from uh, from here, but
Is
we
there
are
also
now
something that you see on the chart currently with the current PA that is actually missing that is delivering the actual move? Could you tell me exactly what this is? This line.
on the line.
Yeah, because you just added the path tool here, right? You said this here. What happens here?
So there was a BOS here. We are not if it's I mean we consider BOS of potential because
No,
it
but
was
this
the
one,
first
this line here, like this one here. What should this be? It starts with
higher
a
time
F,
frame, higher time frame BOS or just a BOS
an F boss.
as both. Okay, so
So if this is an F boss, what you also have usually when you have an FBOS.
And it's smart money trap.
Okay. What is also this smart money trap?
Mm,
It's at,
like
where is it
a
located?
put at the top of the movement
And what
on
is
the
this? What is
Asia high.
this? Perfect. Asia high.
All right. Oh, understood. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So considering that
Okay.
it was
And what do we also have here? Also from this FBOS. What is this?
spit, oh, a leg, the first
So
leg
do
that
we
it was
have,
broken.
who is entering here?
So breakout traders.
Exactly. So now we have, let's do the math. We have breakout traders entering here. We have a structural inducement considered as an FBOS with speed and momentum that actually triggers the structural shift. We have this one here, but this is more of an internal structure. If you see this as an M15 leg, this would be a relevant structural point. We also have an SMT. We also have, a potential SMT. We also have Asia high. So the liquidity attraction of this zone makes total sense, right? And this is why some of you could potentially see some of my entries when we have speed and momentum and we have an inducement that potentially we could have an entry to target the relevant liquidity. At this point in time, we cannot confirm yet that this will be taken today, but we understand the reasons why price could be attracted to this zone, right?
For sure. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll let you
Better
continue. But it's
explanation.
very important that you don't miss those F bosses because those F bosses actually triggers the whole move. And we can see with the Asia low here reaction, uh, we're still missing those stop losses here, but I think you removed it earlier, but meaning that this has relevant structure and relevant liquidity. It made a new high here. We know that here has liquidity, and this actually switched the trend. So this is very important. The enticement at this point in time here is sell, 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 sell. There's no more buyers. So this breakout traders here would be the first pair of buyers in the market. I'll let you continue.
Okay, so considering that explanation that our mentor gave us, probably this could be an option to follow the order flow. But let's see how it goes. Okay, so price is just moving in a range. There's nothing too important. But considering the speed of this movement,
It's
and
it's it's a
obviously
good it's a good it's a good analysis, and this is the reasons why I don't want you guys to look at POIs because most of you don't even know what a POI is because you mark this, but this isn't the POI. This is something we'll discuss later, but this should have been the proper demand zone to mark, and this is exactly the reason why right now it's not a priority.
all right,
But
understood,
we
sir.
do understand, and I like that you marked this here as having speed, momentum. It actually entices a lot of things, and this is why I use this indicator because you wouldn't see this without the indicator. This tells you a lot. So I'll let you continue.
All right. So if we just think like a retail for a moment, we may presume that they just saw a range that was, um, if there was a breakout, so they most likely they are going to put their stop losses here. So considering the speed that price is having, probably their stop loss are going to be triggered. So that's why there you are. That's why I just marked this. But as the leg is just being this, so I'm not gonna put anything here relevant, or that I could be considered relevant. But let's see. All right, There we are. This time we are having some reactions here, but I don't see anything too important. So I'm just going to remove this and just going to mark where a new breakout structure traders are potentially are entering here, and these new stop losses here. So this could be the smart money trap. And I am not going to go to the higher time frame, but we may know that probably it could be like bigger, but I'm just gonna put it like that. So let's see how it goes. All right, so this, I mean, probably is not a clear structure, but I'm just gonna mark it just because of the momentum or the speed that this is candle is having. So I may presume that probably there are some traders that could consider put some stop losses here. It's not the most likely most important leg, but it could be an internal that probably we could see some reaction. So let's see how it goes. Now, by the understanding of what our mentor have taught us, we are looking into some reaction of these smart money traps, and if we just follow what they could be thinking, considering that this could be a shock or chain of character for them, this could be a good area to start placing some sales position for them. So let's see how it goes. All right, there are some
Let's
reactions
pause for
there.
a minute. This is
Okay.
exactly what I don't move, okay? This is exactly what I talk when I talk about candle closure. Okay, so you see this reaction. This is called whatever that bullshit is, that reverse hammer, reverse
Hammer.
doji. You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. This is exactly what they look for to reverse. So when you see those candles, those wicks, right, it should indicate to you a lot of things that you should potentially stay away from it, right? This is very important that you understand that those candle closure timings are an indication that we are reacting from this zone, right? Candle closure is very important. We'll have a video about it, but you guys pretty much know the nutshell, what it is, what it is in a nutshell. It's depending on the candle how it closes, it can indicate that a trader is looking to trade from one direction to another, right? It has always been like that, and it's normal. So this indicates a smart money trap reaction, right? When the candle closes. So what should be actually done for you to get involved into this thing? You just wait for this to be done. So what do we need? We need speed and momentum. And if we play price, we'll see even more reaction of this price slowing down. You can see it. Just press next, we'll see. Again, look this, what it indicated when the candle was full below. Have you seen it? Right? And now look how it closes. This is very, very important. You can continue.
Okay, guys. So finally, price in have certain reaction there. All right. So nice. Now we could say that price induce this area, but obviously we always have to have in consideration that for retails, this is just a sum. That's what
What
we was
happens when
telling you.
there's an inducement of Asia high? What do we look for? What should be your
We
first
oh
reflex?
we may we may presume that those traders that
Yeah,
look
yeah,
for,
you can argue this, but what happened? What did I said in multiple videos that when I personally see an inducement of Asia high or Asia low, what is the first thing I do is look where?
oh,
Look
the
to the
the left,
left.
to
Can
the
you
left.
show on M5 what do we have on the left, please?
Just we just have the I mean the Aisha low, but there is nothing on the left.
Perfect. Now, it's very important to understand that it doesn't mean that we have nothing on the left, that price will completely reverse and go to the graveyard, right? It's just you addition all those evidence to give you indication. At this point in time, into an intraday play, you have taken the last stop losses that has been triggered based on the sell side liquidity. So at this point, we don't have any more sellers inside the market. Do you confirm yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. Let's continue.
All right. So let's go ahead and see how is the reaction of price. I mean, we may presume that there is, as our Rod already said, we may presume that there is not new sellers there. We just have this stop loss. Let's see if price go for them.
Now you're
Is
you're still missing something that you indicated. I just wanted to make sure that you saw it, but you told me that there's breakout traders entering here. Where would be the
yes,
stop
all
loss?
the
Good,
here.
perfect, perfect, perfect.
All right, perfect. So now we have this potential internal BOS. I'm gonna mark it because considering the the this internal leg, so it could be an area, important area. I'm gonna put here just here their stop losses. I'm going from there. All right, so we have some speed, but with this reaction, let's see how price react from there. But we may presume probably that these break events, these break events are being triggered.
Are you sure that this is the only reason why we have a reaction there?
Not completely sure, sir. I mean, the break even of these traders and
But
the
this
stop
this
loss are
this
these
point here that
internals.
rejects here, what do you don't move the chart right there and tell me
Okay.
exactly what you see.
Okay, what I
What
see
what what
here.
what do we see? We have buy side liquidity being created. We have
Oh,
clear
yes.
structural highs being created. What do we also have?
Trend line traders.
Can you mark it for me, please?
Just a second. Let me put it there properly. Okay, there we are. Yeah,
Perfect. It looks cute, right? This is a
yes.
proper trend line. This is what I want you guys to see, not those things like this or those thingies like this. This is a proper trend line. Structural points touching new structural highs. Let's continue.
Okay, perfect. So, mm, all right. So we are having some certain reactions here.
We like the
What I for
reactions.
Yeah, what I forgot, and I do apologize on that. With the trend lines, I don't remember, sir, if we have to expect for them that it is created a new high, or it will be just enough with a reaction like this. And I do apologize because
It's not, it's never if it's enough or no. So basically, trend line traders draw a line. When there's a second touch, logically, they put a stop loss here, right? Most of the traders use the third touch of the trend line. It's impossible for a trend line trader to put a stop loss at the first touch because the trend line isn't even created. So we have a second touch here, new structural high, highly confirmed entry here. It comes back, retouch perfectly, new structural high. At this point, there's no doubts. But at the fourth touch, we have a reaction. It doesn't mean that there's liquidity here, but we do have a reaction. If there's a reaction, it means that we now have people interested in entering in there. So at this point, you don't know if there's clearly relevant liquidity here, like you said, until this point is made. But this is why we will have to wait and see what happens.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the clarifier. All right. So let's see how price move from there. Well, it called my attention, this tiny movement for the internal, because probably we are having some traders that they may think that there is an structure here. So I'm just gonna mark it here and
Okay,
see if there
interesting,
any
interesting.
any reaction here and see how it goes. Okay, there we are. So we have these, we could say that these triggers, these stop loss have been triggers, and
Mhm,
also for those that were expecting probably buy from here from this trend line,
mhm.
but as
What
let's
else? What else is missing before we go lower?
these traders of this leg,
Okay, perfect. What else? What else? You just
mm,
shown it right there. What do we have here? We have a breakout trader entry, right?
yes,
Clear
sir.
break. What do we have here?
Break and retest.
Perfect. It's not highly confirmed since it's not respecting the 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 trend, but it adds into our toolkit that we have now breakout traders entering. We also have break and retest entering. So there's buy a sell side liquidity being created now, and it's getting interesting.
Yes, sir.
Let's continue.
All right. So I'm gonna put it just here to have this more clear. And let's see how it goes. Price here. Okay, we are having some speed now,
Perfect.
and I'm just going to consider this here, put it here, and see if there any reaction here. Now, we're completely know that this stop loss has been triggered. All of these guys that put their uh, probably their break evens also
It's
has
very
been
important
triggered.
to not confuse yourself with break even. So let me just pause this for a second and explain how the break even works. So we
Okay,
have, let's say, breakout traders entering here, right? If the price completely melts down and takes this stop loss and leaves, you confirm there's stop loss here. We don't care if this has been triggered at break even, right? For us,
okay,
it doesn't give us any indication because it doesn't matter because it took the stop loss. What we want to see is this, right? Like we had on GU right now, when I took my partials, we had a major reaction. It came back into the POI and will potentially continue dumping. That reaction indicates the break even area, right? So this entices that we potentially don't have any more liquidity below. The reaction is what we want to do is see. This for us doesn't do nothing in terms of break even area. So when you said here that we potentially have break even triggered or something is okay, but the reaction only tells you that potentially we don't have any more breakout traders here, but it doesn't mean that we don't have stop losses of the trend line. And this is where it's very important. This is why we identify each retail strategies, because imagine you said here that we don't have any more breakouts entering. They're moved to break even. I agree. You are right. But maybe we have people with the trend line entering. Maybe we have even SMC entering. So this structural point is still valid because also it made a new high. So this is why when I see people saying in the chat that I started removing retail strategies because I understand them, it's a mistake. You should identify each and every single one of them. If it helps you, put the multiple stop losses. It doesn't help me, so I remove that thing. But if it does, put it because you need to identify if a structural point is still valid. And in this case, you should understand that the speed and momentum actually does something here. Can you tell me what it is?
Yeah, to trigger all the stop loss of this low in that create new
What
high.
else? What else?
Mm,
This here is the same thing than here.
So probably they are inducing or enticing sellers to
Okay.
continue
Sellers would be putting their stop losses where? If they enter here, if this is the
here.
higher time frame leg,
Oh, I'm sorry, here. Or it
perfect.
just it
What do we
just
also have left?
confirm.
What do we also have here?
Fake BOS, or yeah, a chain of character for them, but it will be a fake BOS.
Perfect. Identify everything. So we have an FBOS, we have breakout traders entry.
Yes,
So you
sir.
can mark that breakout trader. You can just copy this one here if you want. And what do we also have now? Taking that stop loss. So we have three things. They're building sell side liquidity, taking the stop losses, enticing more buyers, but also enticing sellers because we have a structural shift. So now this becomes a
It's my money trap.
perfect. Let's mark it. Let's go, Andres. I like that.
Okay.
Let's continue.
All right. All right. Perfect. All right. So we're having more sellers here. Well, I presume that we have more sellers, internal sellers into this leg, and they are then adding more side liquidity.
Yes and no. I wouldn't mark this as being relevant, but I do understand what you're doing. It's just that try not to force those if possible.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm just going to delete it. And the only stop losses for this intraday that we are missing is of the whole leg. These are time frames. So let's see if
Yeah,
price go for them or not. And we may consider that we are here. We have the London close, and we are being kind of
almost end
late
of
in
day.
the day.
Good
Yes.
observation. Very important what's happening now. We
All
have a
right. So
reaction and we have a new structural shift. What is this also now? Can you tell me what this is?
Airbus
Why would
or
it be a
just
Narbos if you told me that there's still a relevant liquidity to take?
oh
What
yeah,
do,
I am sorry. They are enticing
so
the
it is
F,
a
FBI,
it's
SBS.
a there's a lot of FVOS, but this is how it is. It's funny because it's annoying, but this is the case. So
All right,
this is an FBOS. So what does this becomes?
smart money trap.
Give it to me. Perfect.
Yeah, I used to I tend to confuse this because
This
as
is
I
why you
came
just need
from
to wait for the video. Once the video will be out, you will have all the questions answered. Just be patient. What we have right now is way enough to mark up liquidity. So let's continue.
all right, perfect. So we may presume, sir, that this demand zone it already have a reaction.
Yeah, 100%. I agree this. I agree.
Oh, all right, and probably, well, let's see, we could have a potential sell, but no, oh, no, I didn't say it. Okay, we're kind of low of the volume because of the hour.
Don't forget, don't press price too fast. What's happening also? What do we also have here?
Well, we have
If this
here
is a breakout, if it's coming back, it's retesting.
this breakdown retest.
Yes, exactly. So all this demand zone or supply bullshit, it's retesting. It's not highly confirmed, but we are like detectives. Our goal is to identify liquidity based on evidences that the price gives us. For me, what justifies this reaction is first of all that FBOS, right, with this SMT that actually worked a little bit, but also this break and retest area, right? And it all aligns with your first analysis that you were saying that this structural point needs to be taken, right? So it's very important that you continue to write the story based on what you see. Okay, let's continue.
Okay, so
At this point, I think you can just press play because I think it's end of the day. Let's
yeah,
press play until it takes the stop loss. I don't know if yeah, it takes it. Press play, play. Here we go. Press pause. Excellent. So if we look at what happened at the end, we have this, just zoom in, just don't move, please. All right. See the reaction, how it's coming from the second touch of that trend line, right? Look at the reaction, how they're enticing early buyers in with new structural points. You didn't argue, but you said that this PY would have been mitigated. It's possible, but the demand is still there and it got faked here, as you can see. Here we go, right? This is a spread hour, so we ignore, but we justify. We have also this justification that is really relevant because we went back and we retested this point. Now it goes to a fact that a lot of people think that, okay, we do all this, this is freaking cute, but where would I trade? Your goal is to identify where we have multiple one-side liquidity and when the previous liquidity, oops, opposite side, sorry, this, and the previous liquidity is taken. So in this case, we have here to trade away, here to trade away, and now here to trade away. At whatever point, and I'm going to spoil you a little bit, it doesn't matter if you take the tip like me or you take any reentries that will be potentially shown to you, or you can see if you're able to enter yourself, are valid until each and every single intraday liquidity is taken. But now, what happens if we press play? Let's press play a little bit again. I think oh no, not you're on FXCM, so it's not working. So basically, we now have these potential equal lows. On Owanda, the price went perfectly to Asia low and created equal highs and left. This is another important topic that we need to discuss is that price can leave liquidity for the next day. This is a picture perfect day that liquidity has been taken on both sides. But we could have this Asia low inducement here and price could have continued to the upside forever. And this is why I don't want you to understand how can I enter here? How can I enter here? Your goal is to identify the remaining liquidity. So at this point, we know that we have here, here, and here. But now we have this one that is taken, and we have a reaction over here that has a potential break-even area that gave a really good reaction. And can you press on go on M15 and press play for me, please? Press play just a little bit. Here we go. Play. Go. Okay, pause. Going back on M5. Look how perfectly we break even these guys. right? We had this lovely equal lows, like in the video I explained, those rejection with that rectangle, right? We have that inducement, that wick confirms, that reaction confirms the liquidity taken. Now we have here this BE taking reaction confirming, coming back into this imbalance zone, leaving, right? Faking these potential SMT, whatever. We're not going to talk about that right now. And it came back to this, and look at the release of the liquidity. This is perfect days, but that's not how trading works. Being able to trade during those days is easy. It's just that you need to understand the difficult days that sometimes price will just continue into one direction. And people actually ask me, how can we know if an inducement is over? You cannot know. Never. Never, never, never. At one point in your career, you just have to pull the trigger and accept the risk that potentially if you do this, there is still remaining liquidity to the upside and you will be taking a stop loss. Trial and errors. And this is why I hate those traders that creates those templates that expect price to always do the same behavior with those thematic things, with those entries, always the same thing. And people put these into their sessions and it never happens and it never works. Why? Because they haven't aligned everything at the same at the same level. So the entry, the liquidity, the day, do we have news? Do we where are we on the current weekly high, daily high? Are we overextended? What time is it? Right? Is it relevant to take an entry here? It's end of day. No. How come do we not take trades here? It's normal. It's Asia. These are all things that you need to actually confirm to understand why price is doing this. And this is why doing those markups is the only thing you should focus on right now, because if you cannot mark up the liquidity, how can you understand the price direction? So I'll ask you, Andres, with the current day that you just bar replayed, can you tell me if everything looks clear and justified and you understand the reason why the price was architected in a direction to take all the stop loss of the day? Does that day make sense to you or no?
Yeah, for sure. After an older explanation, it has a explanation for every movement.
And do you understand the reasons why when we took this point here and we really had nothing to the left and potentially we had a potential entry or something like that? Do you understand why price went over here into the second stop loss of that trend line like I showed in the video and then faked this high and came back? Does this make sense?
Yeah, for sure. As you said, there was not enough a more sell side liquidity, so now price have needs to go for those
And do
buy
you
stop losses.
understand also that
Yes,
potentially price could have induced this and just continue in one direction? You've seen it multiple times.
yes, sir.
And
Yes,
are
yes.
they just trying to do when they're trying to go into one direction? They're trying to build,
They're
source word,
trying to.
build liquidity, right?
Yeah, yes,
Uh,
sir.
uh, So those retail strategies can work. It's just that the more and more you see them, the more and more you will understand. So please try to not finding a one size fits all entry or one size fits all liquidity, because it's always the same crap. Look at this here. These are relative equal lows. Price will trade away, and this will potentially be a target. Here we have a net boss, or potentially this one. This will become a potential SMT. Will it be triggered today? Maybe. Will it not? We don't know. So press play so we can spoil ourselves and we can complete the call. Faking the equal lows again, making a new structural high again, liquidity here. Look how it fakes the SMT perfectly and induces, and press play again. Press play it. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
And is here.
Continue. Let's continue. Let's continue. Look, those liquidity being new structural high. Will it be taken today? We don't know. See?
Create more.
Okay, press pause. And this is where you should go into justifications. Maybe this point here has confirmed as a break-even area. Reaction came back. FBOS, SMT, trade away. Mitigates this point here. This decisional POI that made a relevant high. There's always reason you can justify. What's the hard part is seeing this in live market, and to understand live market, you need to practice in hindsight. The more you practice in hindsight, the more you will practice. We are 100 and ish people here. I'm sure that I did more daily markups than all of you combined together because I just love doing it. I love justifying it. My Dropbox is full of daily markups, and I can assure you that this is the only way you can practice because even though it's in hindsight, the more and more you see those patterns and you see those candles, those moves, the more your brain will gain experience. So please don't underestimate the daily markups. And that's pretty much it what I have for today. So thank you, Andres. Can everybody congratulate him? He did a wonderful job. Only two-ish mistakes. I think he did a great job. So thank you very much. I'll stop the recording right now.